Today's video is all about the Whispering Bow. That's right, everyone's favorite freaking bow that shoots you from halfway across the screen. Even when you're off the screen, it's still hitting you. And this thing hits like a truck. It hits super hard now that it has been buffed. I wanted to talk about it and teach you all the best ways so that you can maximize the damage output on this thing. Let me just show you how wicked this thing is against this target dummy here. And I have the wrong passives on. Okay, there we go. Alright, so check out this damage. It is insane. This is just crazy damage. It is nuts, alright? We're going to fire until our E-buff runs out, and then we'll stop firing and show you the damage. There we go. 9,091 damage, 1,161 DPS. Now, of course, if you're shooting a mounted target, you're only honestly going to do about 3,300 damage to them. But this is more so for like faction fighting. This is not a good 1v1 weapon. I just want to tell you right now, the Whispering Bow is not good for 1v1 because it makes you take more damage by 20%. Your defense is reduced by 20% when you use your E spell. This is mostly for just firing from the backline in a big faction fight or a Zerg versus Zerg. It's just a fun faction fight weapon. The whole reason I'm doing this video is I was doing some faction fighting in my 8.3. I had an 8.3 Druidic robe, and I noticed that I died to someone in 2 seconds. It took 2 seconds for someone to drop me from full HP to no HP. And it was a Whispering Bow user who was max spec with an 8.4. So that's why I'm here today. I'm going to teach you how to milk as much damage as possible out of this sucker. Let's get started. But before I do, if you want to do group dungeons with me, consider joining the Discord. There's a link in the description. It's also on the screen for you. First up is the cape you want to use, and the Morgana cape is going to give you the most damage for the Whispering Bow. Why is that? Because it gives you 50% additional attack speed, which is entirely based on what this weapon is. It buffs your auto attack, okay? Now, without the cape, your 9,091 damage combo will drop to 8,600. Now, if you use the Thetford cape, it's only 8,800 damage, so you get 200 more damage from a Morgana cape. However, the Thetford cape is situational because over a long period of time, Thetford cape would technically be better because it recharges every 15 seconds, whereas Morgana cape recharges every 1 minute and 13 seconds at 8.4. Next up is your helmet, which you'll be using the Mage Cowl with the Poison proc. Now, this deals more damage in total than buffing your damage with Stalker Hood's 15%, and more damage than the Royal Hood's 24%, okay? And that's also much more trickier to stack, but the way it is, you can snapshot the damage buff on your undead arrows on those, and they still fall shorter than just poisoning your target with an 8.4 Mage Cowl. So Mage Cowl is the winner. For your armor, you will be using the Hunter Jacket with the haste ability. The reason why is it deals more damage. It deals even more damage than wearing cloth armor, than wearing the Druidic robes fully stacked to 6 stacks, which is a 36% damage increase. Even with all of that, the Hunter Jacket still deals more DPS because of its haste and also its 20% damage increase buff. For your boots, you'll use the Royal Sandals. The reason why is because not only are they a cloth boot, giving you slightly more damage, the Defenseless Rush ability gives you more damage, but it also gives you nice move speed to make some distance in case someone tries to pursue you. There are other boots that buff your damage by 15%, but they are not cloth boots. Therefore, these are the strongest ones for increasing your damage overall. And of course, for food, you'll want to use a beef stew for that extra 13.5% damage increase. Okay, let's talk about the weapon now. The weapon is obviously the Whispering Bow. You'll be using W1 for the most damage. This also adds area of effect damage. Of course, you don't have to go all damage. You could always go Frost Shot or Speed Shot. Now, for the passive, the Piercing Arrows one, the one that reduces defense, is by far the best. This isn't really accurate to test on target dummies, but against an armored player, it's definitely better. But the thing is, this is dealing more damage anyway to the target dummy than the attack speed buff. This is, again, because of the Morgana cape. If you're not using Morgana cape and using Thetford cape, you could use attack speed, but in my testing, I've found that Piercing Arrows, the third passive, still deals more damage. Okay, let's go over the attack rotation. You want to have your target selected, in this case, this target dummy. I'm going to push F into D into W1 And then as soon as I push R, I'm going to peel my eyes on this E button. And as soon as that global cooldown circle completes, I'm going to push E to maximize my damage. So it looks something like this. So F, D, W, that's the easy part. Then R into E immediately, and spacebar. Spacebar activates your auto attacks. And then there we go. Now we're just blasting the target dummy, and the target dummy is just completely ruined. So yeah, 9,000 damage. And this is such a low cooldown ability. It's almost back off cooldown. It's 12 seconds. The explosive arrows as well. And all you have to do is, like, even without your armor ability, you still chunk people with this weapon. It is insane. It is buffed like crazy. I think it's a little overpowered, to be honest. You heard it here first. Okay, so let's break it down now. So in case you want to customize this build and not be a glass cannon, this is what it looks like, okay? We know we deal over 9,000 damage, over 9,000, with the full combo. But if you choose not to use a Morgana cape, but use a Thedford cape, it's 8,800, 8,600 without a cape at all. So you could like use a Bridgewatch cape or something. 7,500 if you do not use your W1 ability, which means you could use Frost Shot instead, or Speed Shot. I'm going to show you why Speed Shot is actually, in situations, better than Frost Shot when just running away or chasing. However, in 1v1s or against one specific target, Frost Shot would be better. I'm going to go over that later in the video. Don't worry about it. Okay, now 6,900 damage if you don't have W1, you don't have your cape or Mage Cowl. So you can see that Mage Cowl does 600 damage. And then without the boots, you know, that's another like 500 to 600 damage. And then if you have no buffs at all, which means no Hunter Jacket, you only deal 3,606 damage, which is still really good because you are shooting from such a ridiculous far distance. I mean, look how far. Look, this is basically off-screen. We're shooting an off-screen target here for 3,600 damage. In a big faction fight, you're just going to be in a blob just shooting these, you know, blue laser beams, basically. You're just going to be beaming people. Now I'm going to hit you with the weapon scaling, okay? So at 1 spec, still using 8.4, excellent, of course, you deal 6,452 damage with the full combo, which means you lose 2,667 damage. That is, you lose, that is crazy. That's like a 25% damage increase. Okay, now just 100 spec, you're at 7,894 damage, 8,625 damage at 700 spec, which is 100 spec into all bows. And yeah, it's nuts, okay? So basically, from 100 to 120 across all the weapons, it's like you're dealing 500 additional damage, which is really good compared to all other weapons in the game. So this weapon has incredible good scaling. It's not crappy like the Druid Staff. It is absolutely great. Now, I wouldn't try this weapon on the live servers, however, my Swole Benji character only has 51 mastery, no spec into Whispering Bow. I got 1 spec on it, and I fought like a 5.3 leather wearer, and I got him down to about 50% health with the combo. He had about 3,000 HP, and I got him down to a little bit under 200 HP before I died. But yeah, that's just with a 4.1 bow, by the way. Yeah, I forgot to mention that part. I used a 4.1 bow and nearly killed a 5.3 guy with it. And with no spec or only half mastery. That's insane. This weapon will dumpster people. This is the OP bow, okay? I can show you the same combo, except using a regular bow. And the regular bow used to be the king. It used to be the king of turret builds. It was the highest DPS stand and fight build, and now look at it. It does not compare at all. It is not the same. It is the damage. It's just not there. We're gonna shoot. We even shoot more arrows than the Whispering Bow, and it takes longer too. See, look at that. Even after shooting a few extra shots, only 6,708 damage. It's nowhere close to the Whispering Bow. Okay, so let me talk about mobility for a second, because some people think that Frost Shot is way better comparable to Speed Shot. I'm going to show you otherwise. First off, I'm going to show you the Frost Shot. And the way I'm doing this is I'm going to click this little black dot to get lined up, and then this one right here. And then we're going to go down and to the right as far as possible. I'm going to put my mouse cursor on the very tippy tip of this W, and I'm going to use my boots to run to see just how far we get. I'm just holding the mouse down, and when my boots run out, I'm going to stop. So there we go. We stopped right here. I'm going to I'm going to move my cursor this way and use Frost Shot. And that's how far I got. I'm not even touching the house. You can see I'm pretty close to the house, though. And now I'm going to show you the same exact test, but this time we're going to speed shot the target dummy, which gives us a 20% move speed for 5 seconds, and you're going to see that it's actually slightly better. Alright, so I'm going to line up with the dots right here. Okay, so the dots are now lined up. I'm putting my mouse cursor back on the tip of this W, and I'm running. And as I run, I'm going to shoot the speed arrow right there, and I'm going to continue to run until that speed arrow buff runs out, right about there. So you can see that it's, well, it's a little bit harder to see because there's a windmill in the way, but it is closer to the house, only by a little bit, but here's the kicker. Okay, Speed Shot has a 15-second cooldown, whereas Frost Shot has an 18-second cooldown. Now, in a 1v1 situation, Frost Shot is superior because it does slow your enemy when you hit them with it. So, with melees, you know, that's great. But still, even then, because of the added distance with Speed Shot and the lower cooldown, and the fact you deal more damage, and it increases your attack speed, this Speed Shot is the kiting king. Like this is the weapon that you want to use to run away from things. It is, yeah, you know, everyone thinks Frost Shot's great, but guys, don't sleep on Speed Shot. It's actually really, really good. Okay, well, that's all I have to educate you about the Whispering Bow, okay, guys? The Whispering Bow, very good weapon now. It turns into a glass cannon with its E spell, so you might as well just live out your glass cannon fantasy. Even though you are still wearing a hunter jacket, which gives you way more defense than wearing cloth, so you're still a very dangerous, you know, person, and you can shoot from incredibly far distances. This thing has such a long reach. It's insane. And, like, if someone targets you in a faction fight with this bow, you're dead. There's no, like, I died in 2 seconds in 8.3 with max spec. 2 seconds is how long I lived. But by the time I realized I was being shot at, it was already over. Okay? This thing will just melt players. So, if you're interested in faction fights, you know, this is not a really good 1v1 weapon, again. I'm going to say that right now. 1v1, not that great. It also sucks for dismounting players. I tried it earlier. You can only get 6 to 8 shots when people are riding by on mounts. It's, unless, of course, you have someone else to hold the player down, which this thing does not hold players down. Other than that, you, I don't know, have fun with the Whispering Bow. I just wanted to educate you on the damage, the numbers, the scaling. So in case you were wondering if you should max this weapon out, yes, it is so it's busted. It's completely broken right now. Have fun with this. It'll probably be nerfed sometime after this video comes out. I don't know when. But guys, I'm Soul Benji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. Hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you learned something today. I make videos every single day on this channel, so make sure that you subscribe so you can come back tomorrow and watch the next video. Maybe you'll learn something cool too. Who knows? Also, if you want to support me, you can become a channel member. It's $5 a month. Click the join button down below. It's all through YouTube. It's not no third-party site like Patreon or anything. And this gives you access to private, more personal videos, but also exploit videos or videos that are like how to make money now being online. Videos that are just too good to release to the public, because if I did, it would ruin the economy or the money-making method. You know, there is a pinned comment down in the comment section with a playlist of all the members' videos. If any of those interest you, feel free to become a channel member. $5 a month. It's super cheap. Hopefully for you. It depends on where you live, I guess. For me, it's not technically cheap. But hey, you know, some of you guys make big baller money stacks. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for the support. It's like subscribing on Twitch, but it's on YouTube. With that said as well, on the right side of your screen is a video you should click, but make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss tomorrow's video, and join the Discord, link in the description. I'll see you later. Mwah.